and they were trying to get on his ass and shit. Nigga, any Taylor Swift fan out there, I don't give a fuck who you are, bro. Pull up. We go hand-to-hand combat. You know what I mean? I think I could take out any Taylor Swift fan if we being for real. I'm not gonna lie. Hand-to-hand combat, I think I got it. The internet's most toxic fandoms. Off rip, I can't even imagine riding meat that much, you know what I mean? You know, being a double hand twister, jerker slurper. I wouldn't say I'm a part of any fandom. You know, I rock with artists, I rock with people, I rock with streamers, I rock with, you know, things of that nature. People be too locked in and they ready to die on the hill for people that they don't even know.
Internet's most toxic fan bases. As usual, we'll rank them from least to most disturbing, reveal some of the darkest things fans have done. If you guys are enjoying the channel so far, it would mean the world to me if you subscribe, because it helps me get my videos out to more people, and I promise to do my very, very best to create the best possible videos I can for you. I'm Visual Venture, and you are awesome.
Shout out to bro,
Swifties, the overprotective fan base. So before we begin, I want to make this clear that this is not an attack on Taylor Swift or her fans in general, but there is a toxic part of her fandom that takes things too far. Almost every musician has overprotective fans, but with Taylor Swift, there are thousands of them, and they attack anyone who dares criticize her. In 2020, Taylor Swift released an album titled Folklore. As usual, music critics reviewed it, but one review made Taylor's fans mad. It was from a website called Pitchfork, and the interviewer was a woman named Jill. In her interview, Jill praised Taylor's songwriting, but she didn't like everything about the album, so Jill gave it an 8 out of 10. For most people, that was a positive review, but for radical Swifties, an 8 out of 10 was unacceptable. It was an insult. Taylor's fans started ranting online, complaining about the review. Then one of them came up with a bizarre theory, which was that Jill and Pitchfork were trying to sabotage Taylor Swift. By giving Taylor's album a lower score, Pitchfork would drag down the album's overall rating, also known as a metascore. Once that
whoever came to that conclusion, out of an 8 out of 10, you're tweaking, bro. Bro is doing too much gargling and not enough thinking.
Sabotage theory took hold, fans were mad and they attacked. First, someone posted Jill's personal information online. They leaked her phone number, her address, and even photos of her home. The docs
8 out of 10. 80%, bro.
Led to non-stop harassment. Jill got angry calls in the middle of the night. Some callers threatened to burn her house down. She even received death threats. Jill tweeted about how terrifying it felt. She said that it sucked to be scared of every person milling outside, or feel like you can't answer the phone. All of this happened because Jill gave Taylor a good review, but it wasn't good enough. But Jill wasn't the Swifties' only victim. In 2019, comedians Desus and Mero appeared on The Tonight Show. During a guessing game, Mero made a joke. Some Swifties didn't find it funny. They felt Mero was insulting Taylor's looks. Within hours, the comedians were getting death threats. One crazy fan even threatened Mero's kids. It was so bad that the FBI got involved. But Swifties don't just fight outsiders, they attack their own. That's what happened to a woman named Rita in 2019. Rita wasn't a regular fan. She was so devoted that she ran a Taylor Swift fan page. Her room was filled with Taylor Swift merch, and she posted videos of herself singing Taylor's songs. But some Swifties thought Rita's videos were cringy, like she was embarrassing the fandom. So they spammed Rita's videos with hateful comments, trying to bully her into quitting. When Rita refused to stop, the attacks escalated. Someone tried hacking her phone to take over her social media accounts. Another posted her license plate online, putting her at risk. Rita adored Taylor Swift, but she became an enemy simply because she didn't fit their idea of a proper Swiftie. Loving
how your own fandom hate when somebody going too hard for the fandom. I'm not gonna lie, Taylor Swift fans are crazy. When she started dating bro, the football player, and they were trying to get on his ass and shit. Any Taylor Swift fan out there, I don't give a fuck who you are, bro. Pull up. We go hand-to-hand combat, you know what I mean? Cause I think I could take out any Taylor Swift fan if we being for real. Any Taylor Swift fan, I think I could take you out. I'm not gonna lie. Hand-to-hand combat, I think I got it.
Being a musical artist is completely normal, but for radical Swifties, anyone who doesn't meet their standards needs to be silenced. This next fan base kicked their leader off the internet. Corpse Husband, the fan base that betrayed their idol. Corp's husband was a faceless YouTuber who got popular in 2020. His main appeal was his voice. He had this deep, rumbling voice that sounded unreal. That voice, combined with being faceless, made Corp's a sensation. Fans couldn't see him, so they created a perfect fantasy version of him in their heads. But Corp's was a real person, and he was far from perfect. In interviews, Corp's revealed that his deep voice was partly caused by a medical condition. He also had arm pain that affected his daily life. He struggled with anxiety, and he didn't like talking in public because he was scared someone would recognize his voice. That's why he chose to remain faceless. He wanted privacy so he could manage his personal issues without the stress of fame. But some fans didn't care about his struggles. They just wanted to see his face no matter the cost. In 2021, a photo of a man went viral. People claimed it was Corp's husband. There was just one problem. The man in the photo didn't match the image fans created in their minds. And instead of accepting that, they started mocking the man in the picture. Tweets called him ugly. Some fans unfollowed him. Someone tweeted, unsubbed, and unfollowed Corp's after seeing that face reveal. Like, I thought it was gonna be hot, but he's just some ugly creep.
It's so crazy to think how your attractiveness can literally change everything about your life. I thought he was hot. This is up here. Turns out he's an ugly creep. Okay, if you want to call somebody ugly, everybody has the right to their own opinion. But creep? You're calling someone a creep because they don't match what you have in your head. You're sick and you have problems. You need to go seek therapy because every single person is living through the same thing in a different body. You know what I mean? So yes, there are creeps out there, but just because you don't find someone attractive doesn't make them a creep. It may make an attractive person that is doing creep-like things less creepy because you find them attractive and you're open to it, but just because someone is not attractive to you doesn't make them a creep.
Fans were brutal, but the reaction revealed the truth. Some fans weren't following Corp's for who he was. They were following the fantasy they created. Also, it was never confirmed that the photo was actually Corp's. Fans might have been mocking a random person. Corp's could have addressed the photo directly, but he didn't. He just started pulling away. He tweeted less, he streamed less, and in November 2021, he uploaded what would become his last regular video. Years later, his fans still miss him. They leave comments begging for his return. But the truth is hard to ignore. The same fans who demand his comeback are the reason he disappeared. This comment summed it up perfectly. He didn't abandon us, we lost him. We truly didn't deserve this man. This next fan base is huge, loud, and always upset. Star Wars, the fan base that's never satisfied. There's a saying that you can't please everyone. The Star Wars fan base is proof of that. They've complained about everything: storylines, dialogue, characters, even little things like the color of lightsabers. And when Star Wars fans get upset, they get toxic. Star Wars fans love the original trilogy, but nearly everything released after has been a problem. In 1999, The Phantom Menace hit theaters. It was the first movie after the original trilogy. It was also the first Star Wars movie in 16 years. Fans were excited until they actually saw the movie. Many hated the film. They felt it didn't capture the spirit of the originals. The backlash was so intense that it nearly ended the franchise. Disliking a movie doesn't make someone toxic, but how some fans expressed their anger was ugly. They started harassing the actors. Ahmed Best, the actor who played Jar Jar Binks, was their first target. Because they hated the character, they made Ahmed their punching bag. Ahmed's phone number was leaked. His answering machine was filled with death threats. Over time, the harassment broke him. Ahmed became...
Who are the people that send these death threats? I was like, it's cool, like, you talk shit like, oh, this person, you fucked up my shit because you da-da-da, did this, whatever. Sending death threats? If you're watching this video and you've ever sent somebody a death threat because they didn't like the Taylor Swift album, or because of fucking whatever it may be, doesn't matter what fandom it's for, and you sent a death threat because of it, seek help. Seek psychological help immediately. Expeditiously, my friend, because you're sick.
Depressed. He was scared to leave his apartment. Jake Lloyd, the child actor, was the next target. He played young Anakin Skywalker. Being a child didn't save him. Some fans hated his acting, so they tried to find his address so they could camp outside his house and confront him. At school, classmates bullied him constantly.
If I was an actor and I went to school and my movie popping, y'all better be stroking my shit. Double hand twisted, sloppy toppy 3000. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care what none of y'all say, nigga. I just made a bag. I just made a bag in a movie and you hating on me? Nigga, get a life, nigga. Get back to fucking math class, nigga. Algebra 1, nigga. Stop playing with me.
Even got death threats. Because of all the negativity, Jake quit acting entirely. But these toxic fans just got worse. Whenever a new Star Wars movie came out, they found something to complain about. And they started to contradict themselves. By the time The Force Awakens came out in 2015, the cycle was obvious. This time, fans said the movie played it too safe. Some claimed it was just a lazy remake of a previous Star Wars film. Because of that feedback, the creators took risks with the next Star Wars movie. They broke away from the classic formula, but fans hated that too. Now they said it strayed too far from the originals. It seemed the fan base didn't know what it wanted, and as usual, they didn't just complain. They made life hell for Star Wars actors. They harassed one actress by mocking her looks. Someone even added offensive comments to her Wikipedia page. She had to quit Instagram to escape the attacks. Daisy Ridley, the lead actress, wasn't spared. Even new characters couldn't escape. In 2022, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series introduced a villain named Reva. Reva was a character that fans have been asking for, but once she appeared, the same fans didn't like her, so they turned on the actress who played Reva. The attacks became so vicious that the show's producer intervened. He told fans, if you're sending her bullying messages, you're no Star Wars fan in my mind. The Star Wars fan base created a lose-lose situation. Play it too safe and they complain. Try something new, they complain louder. It begs the question, if every Star Wars movie makes fans mad, maybe the real problem isn't the movies. VTubers, the parasocial fan base. For those of you guys who don't know what a VTuber is, a VTuber stands for virtual YouTuber. They are streamers who appear online as animated characters instead of showing their real faces. Think of it like digital cosplay. Each VTuber plays a character and fans enjoy the show. But for some fans, watching VTubers isn't just entertainment. Some viewers get obsessed with VTubers. These obsessed fans are known as unicorns. To a unicorn, their favorite VTuber isn't just a character on a screen, she's their virtual girlfriend. In order to maintain that girlfriend fantasy, the VTuber must stay single. She can't flirt or even speak to another man. If she does, they feel betrayed. And when these obsessive fans feel betrayed, the reaction can be explosive. No VTuber learned that lesson harder than Rushia. Rushia was one of Japan's biggest VTubers with over 1 million subscribers. But many of Rushia's fans were unicorns, so they treated Rushia like she was their girlfriend, like she belonged to them, and that almost ruined her life. The issue started.
It probably didn't ruin her life that much. If we gonna be real, if they didn't know what she looked like, she could have looked nothing like her little avatar character. You know what I'm saying? She could have been hideous. You know what I'm saying? And she got all these men, probably thousands of men, to treat her like their girlfriend, and they sending her money all the time. It can't ruin your life that much. You know what I'm saying? If shit really start getting to you, like, oh my God, they're on my ass because I got a boyfriend. Don't tell them you have a boyfriend, one. You know what I'm saying? It's literally a virtual person. If you don't tell nobody who you are, chances are they probably won't find out who you are. And yeah, and quit if you want to. After you done made fucking 5 mil off these motherfuckers, just quit, delete the channel. You know what I'm saying?
Started on February 10th, 2022. Rushia started a live stream. In the middle of her broadcast, a private message popped up on her screen. It was a message her viewers weren't supposed to see, but they did. The message was from Mafu Mafu, a Japanese male singer. It read, "I just finished the live broadcast and I'm getting ready to go home." The text itself wasn't romantic, but there were already rumors that Rushia and Mafu Mafu were dating. Now, this message from Mafu Mafu appeared on her screen. Her unicorn followers felt lied to. They believed Rushia betrayed them by not being single. Thousands canceled their paid memberships. Some destroyed their Rushia merch. A few even sent threats to both Rushia and Mafu Mafu. Rushia tried to calm things down. She swore she wasn't dating anybody, but they refused to believe her. To prove her innocence, she posted a screenshot. It was a chat between Rushia and her manager confirming she was single. But posting that chat cost Rushia everything. Like most VTubers, Rushia was signed to a talent agency. The agency had strict confidentiality policies. By posting that private chat with her manager, Rushia broke her non-disclosure agreement. So the agency fired her. Just like that, Rushia lost her platform. Not because she hurt anyone, but because her toxic fans pushed her so far, she broke the rules trying to defend herself.
That's her fault. If we're gonna keep it a stack, you were manipulating probably thousands of men every single day, going in, they're sub to you, they're sending you money every single month, you're happy, and they're obsessed with you, and you continue this on and on and on, and then as soon as they're like, you know what, screw it, I don't want to be sub to you because you're taking advantage of me. You know, you lied to me. You have a boyfriend, or you talk to all these dudes, and I felt like I was special. And then they unsub to you, and then you do the most to kind of even it out. I think you did it to yourself, honestly. If we're gonna be real, kinda. You know what I'm saying? You were using these men for God knows how long, for God knows how much money, and now you're super upset that they're unsubbing to you. You know, it sounds like there was a threat sent. That is bad. You know, you did too much trying to keep that money coming in. You needed to calm down.
Later that year, another VTuber had a similar problem. In August 2022, a VTuber named Crony streamed a gaming session with several male VTubers, but most of Crony's fans were unicorns just like Russia's. These obsessive fans hated seeing Crony interact with those male VTubers. They bombarded her live chat with insults. To escape the hostility, Crony took a 2-week break from streaming, but when she returned, she took a different approach. Instead of trying to appease her fans, she stood her ground. She tweeted, after much consideration, I decided that I will be collaborating with whoever I want. The fact that she had to post that shows how controlling and toxic some VTuber fans can be. The members of this next fan base just can't get along.
Wait, okay. So she stood on business, and it doesn't seem like anything bad happened after that. All you gotta do is stand on business. The girl before, she tried to appease to the unicorns, and that's her problem. Like, that's what you did. You wanted them so bad. The other girl, she's like, she took some time off, and then she realized, I'm gonna do whatever the I want. And if y'all don't like it, you know, suck it.
League of Legends, the fan base that hates each other.
Sheesh.
No gaming fan base is as toxic as League of Legends. At least that's what players say. In 2024, a survey asked gamers which fan base was the worst. Around 36% picked League. What makes this fan base so bad? It's about how the players treat each other. League of Legends is built around teamwork. 5 players join forces to beat another team. Success depends on working together, but most players end up fighting their own teammates. If someone makes a mistake, their teammates explode. Players scream insults in the chat. Others go even further. They int. Inting is when a player deliberately dies over and over in the game. They do this to either troll or punish their own team. Either way, inting ruins the game for everyone. Riot Games, the company behind League, has tried to control the toxicity. They ban aggressive players, they added mute buttons. They even created a system to reward good behavior, but none of it worked. By 2020, 98% of players said that they have been harassed in-game. 98% is nearly every player. If players are this toxic during casual matches, imagine what happens when money is at stake. League of Legends has massive esports tournaments, and these tournaments offer millions of dollars in prize money. The most famous team in League is T1. They've won countless championships, and their star player named Faker was insanely skilled. Fans called him the Michael Jordan of esports. But in 2020, the same fans who idolized T1 turned on them. That year, T1 failed to qualify for a major tournament. Fans blamed the team's coaches for benching Faker during the qualifiers. The coach who benched Faker received death threats. Other players began getting threats as well. T1's CEO had to plead with fans to stop. Some fans ignored the warning. By September 2020, T1 started tracking down those behind the threats to take legal action. This wasn't the only time fans turned on a professional League team. One team received an actual weapon in the mail. It was supposed to be some kind of warning. It's no wonder so many consider League of Legends the most toxic fan base in gaming. Up next is a fan base that operates like a mob. Genshin Impact, the fan base that bullies. The game Genshin Impact is more popular than people realize. It launched in 2020, just 5 years ago, but it already generated over $6.3 billion in revenue.
6.3
more than 11
billion, and I never played it. I've heard of it before. Genshin Impact. I think it rings a bell in my head, but billion? Yo, niggas are giving everything to this game, boy.
million people play the game every month. That's the population of a small country. But a game this big attracts all kinds of fans. Some of them are notorious for bullying, and sometimes they attack for surprising reasons. It's exactly what happened in 2022. An artist posted an illustration of Kaya, one of Genshin's main characters. It was just fan art, nothing controversial. But the artist made one mistake. Kaya's skin tone was lighter than usual. That small error caused chaos. Hardcore fans demanded the artist delete the drawing. One comment said, "Draw him correctly or don't draw him at all." That was harsh, but some fans went further. Someone stole the drawing, darkened Kaya's skin, and reposted it. They claimed they fixed the art. The artist even tried to apologize. They tweeted, "I didn't mean to paint Kaya's skin color brightly. It turned into this color unintentionally. I'm sorry for making you feel uncomfortable." But the apology didn't end the harassment. The attacks continued until the artist deleted their Twitter account, and this case was just the beginning. Genshin.
The problem is when you try to appease. You don't appease. You don't appease, bro. You don't say you're sorry unless it's kind of like, dang, you really made a mistake. You need to say you're sorry. But you made the skin color too light. You'd be like, dang, I wasn't even paying attention. Or don't say nothing. You could have just posted the other one. You could have made it darker, posted it again, and just kept both posts up. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? You don't start appeasing. As soon as you start appeasing, they know they got you, and then they're gonna double down. Like, there's no reason to stop at that point. You know, the whole point was to get your attention. Now that they have your attention, they want to keep it.
And fans attack artists over little things, like drawing a character in the wrong outfit or the wrong pose. But it's not just artists who get attacked. Even actual employees working on the game have been targeted. In 2021, Genshin added a new character named Kokomi. Unfortunately, some players didn't like her, but they didn't just complain about the character. For some twisted reason, fans attacked the voice actress who played Kokomi. She was live streaming when the insults started. Her chat was filled with hateful comments. It got so bad that she had to turn off the comments. Remember, this voice actress was just an employee. Later, she posted that she only wanted a relaxed and happy environment, but the Genshin mob didn't back off. And this wasn't even the worst moment that year. In September of that year, Genshin celebrated its first anniversary. Fans expected huge rewards, but when the rewards were released, many were disappointed. They felt like the rewards weren't good enough. This time, they didn't just make hateful comments online. They tried to sink the whole ship. Thousands of Genshin fans went on the Google Play Store and review bombed the game. They all left one-star reviews. On the Play Store, apps with low ratings can disappear from search results. So by review bombing the game, these fans were trying to bury it. The game's rating dropped from 4.5 stars to 2 stars. However, Google noticed what was happening, so Google deleted the fake reviews. But the fact that Google was trying to save the game made fans even angrier. Now, Genshin fans started review bombing Google's apps like Google Classroom. More than 20 apps across the Play Store were filled with fake negative reviews. The war only ended when the developers of Genshin Impact gave in. They added extra rewards to calm the fans down. If this community can sabotage their own game, what'll they do next? Up next is a fan.
For them to take it that far, you would have had to already do something to appease them. You know, they start saying stuff, doing stuff, and you start changing things in the game based off of what they're saying. Bro, no, appeasement going on. Like, I made my game. It is what it is. Like, we ain't changing nothing. We're not changing nothing. I don't care. And that's how y'all should be moving. But because that's not how y'all moving, they know if they push y'all enough, they can get whatever they want. And that's why they kept pushing y'all until y'all gave them extra perks in the game. It's like, fuck that.
Base that chased away the creator of their game. Five Nights at Freddy's, the feral fan base.
Sheesh.
Five Nights at Freddy's launched in 2014. It was an instant hit. Players took on the role of a night guard trapped in a haunted pizza shop. The game was filled with hidden clues and mysteries waiting to be solved. The community grew fast, but as the fan base exploded, so did its darker side. The game was created by Scott Cawthon, and in the early days, Scott was very active in forums. Scott listened to fans and shaped new games around their ideas. Fans loved having that connection, but the closer Scott stayed to the community, the more demanding it became. In 2015, FNAF 3 and 4 were released, but fans thought the games weren't scary enough. Others thought they were too easy, so angry fans attacked Scott directly. One fan even went after Scott's family. I mean, imagine threatening someone's family over a game. But the attacks didn't stop there. Later that year, Scott released the first Five Nights at Freddy's book. His co-author was a woman named Kira, but fans couldn't find much about her online, so they concluded she didn't exist. They accused Scott of lying and attacked him again. Scott later clarified that Kira was a professional writer, but he told her to make her accounts private because he expected weirdos and creeps to stalk her. That means Scott realized how toxic the FNAF fandom was becoming. In 2016, it got worse. Scott launched a spin-off called FNAF World. The game was buggy, so fans hated it. Scott took the game down, fixed the issues, and re-released it for free. But fans kept criticizing Scott, calling him a sellout. When Scott deleted the worst comments, they accused him of censorship. He simply couldn't win with them. By 2021, he had enough. He stepped away from Five Nights at Freddy's completely. After Scott left, new developers took over to keep the franchise alive, but the toxic fans treated them even worse. In 2024, a fan project called FNAF in Real Time was cancelled. The developers revealed they were receiving threatening messages from angry fans. The harassment shook them so much that they abandoned the game too. The community that made FNAF a hit was tearing it apart. One FNAF fan on Reddit said it best: "We literally can't have anything anymore."
Don't appease. We don't negotiate with terrorists. That's how things progressively get worse. No negotiations. No appeasement. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if nobody told you today, I love you. Peace.